Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Doctor Who and the War Machines,
Yes.
episode 4.
Episode
I know we did that joke
4.
last time.
Yes.
Episode 4.
Yes, the symbol's back.
The symbol's back, although this time the writing's white
On a black
on a black.
background.
They cannot make up their mind
They're trying different styles.
as to what the title sequence is, but choose one and stick to it at least for like 4 weeks. Deary me. It's like everybody's going, what button can I press this week?
What does this one do?
Yeah, 5.5 million people are watching this. But yeah, Hartnell is staring down the war machine, isn't he?
Yes.
Carrying on where we left off last time, and sort of waving his hands up and down, and
Good for you, lapels.
doing the full Hartnell, isn't it?
Yes.
Really, you know, not the full Monty.
No, oh God,
Thankfully.
no.
Although Hartnell does start to take his clothes off later on, doesn't he? We'll come to that in a minute.
Yeah, only one
He
bit.
goes, oh, it's so hot in here, and takes his coat off.
Yes.
His clothes. Anyway, sorry. We're in the pub, and Kenneth Kendall's on the telly.
Yes.
Following the test card, actually.
Yes.
If you see one of the people we know are really into test cards and could probably tell us which one it is, but I just went, oh, that's the test card. But yeah, Kenneth Kendall, who we have featured on Round the Archives.
We have in Treasure Hunt.
Treasure Hunt.
Yes.
When Treasure Hunt came to Dorset.
It did.
But it turns out Kenneth Kendall's not the only person to have done something in Dorset in this show. Is
No.
it? No. And
No.
again, we'll come to that. But we get a sort of mini computer lesson, don't we,
Yes.
about how sort of computer programs
Yes.
work and things like that. And this is all very sort of new. New to, you know, Doctor Who's done education in the form of history and look at the joins in the blocks and all that,
and the Aztecs
and all that stuff.
King Richard.
But computer sciencey education is a bit less obvious.
Yes.
Until you get to this point.
Yes.
Then Hartnell tells you how computers have programs and things like that. And it's almost like he's sort of pitching to be on the computer program with Ian McNaught Davis, you know, a few years early instead of Chris Searle. Can you imagine Hartnell being on the computer? Well, K9 is on the computer program,
K9
isn't
is
he?
on the computer program.
So there is a link. There is a link there. But with all this innovation that's going on, and it's very funny. Everybody, according to the audience report, doesn't like that Doctor Who's doing new things.
Yes.
Because the reaction index for each episode gets worse and worse.
Yes.
It's like nobody's impressed that, oh, this isn't what Doctor Who should be doing, you know.
Nothing changes.
It really does nothing change, does it? No. But Ben says, where's Polly? And frankly, Annika gets very little to do in this episode.
She does.
It's really all on Ben and Hartnell, isn't it?
In fact, doesn't she go on holiday? Because it says in the info text that after when they filmed
well, it's for the filming.
Scene,
She was in Spain.
Yes.
She went on. But yeah, episode 3 was very much, as we said, Ben and Polly with a bit of Hartnell.
Yeah.
This is much more Hartnell
Yes,
and
and
Ben with a bit of Polly.
Yes.
You know.
And Charles.
So yeah, Hartnell gets all hot and bothered and has to take his cloak off.
Yes.
Drops his key.
Yes.
Ben picks it up, and it's not very obvious what it is. Yeah, because you have to look closely to see. But again, this leads into the film sequence at the end. But there are 11 other machines.
Yes.
Well,
Which we don't
really see. And if who's in charge at each of these other sites? Because you've had the Major, you know, shouting into his microphone at this site, which is where they're building machine 9 and or 3.
Yes.
You'd have thought he'd have been in charge of machine 1, wouldn't you?
You would have thought so, yes.
But who have they delegated it to? You
Don't know.
Somebody. Don't know.
The security guard.
But yeah, the War Machine, not only is it deadly against boxes, it's deadly against radios as well. It does radio smash, bang, and the radio doesn't really fall apart, does it?
No, you really sort of something fall off, don't you?
And then it zaps a bloke
Yes.
with its extinguisher, and then it does a camera smash as it sort of zooms in, sort of hits into the table, and then
Rocks the camera.
It rocks the camera a bit. But yeah, John Harvey
Mm-hmm.
had spent some time in Swanage Hospital a few years before.
I don't think there is a hospital in Swanage now, is there?
I really don't know. I'd have to go and check. I don't think so. He'd have had to go to Poole Hospital or Dorchester
or
these
Bournemouth.
days. Yeah. But yeah, this
I'm not
was.
sure there's one in Dorchester now.
Is there not?
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, when he was filming Hereward the Wake
Hereward the Wake.
in Dorset.
Yes, he was playing. I can't remember the character he was playing.
I'm
But...
going to have to look it up now.
Yeah.
Now you've drawn attention to it.
And-
You shouldn't have drawn attention to it, you see. If we don't draw attention to it, it makes it look like we know what we're doing. But
Okay.
as soon as you say something and can't finish the sentence,
He got bitten by a dog
we're exposed. Yeah, he got bitten by a dog in Dorset. Yeah.
on the thigh, which is not a good place to be bitten.
No.
And
May-
couldn't ride a horse, so...
Couldn't ride horse. But Major Green's all confused,
Yes.
isn't he? And
He can't remember.
He can't remember. There's a bloke in a phone box,
Yes.
which seems to be a very big phone box, because he's got a load of... It seems to be like huge inside, because he sort of swings round the camera and everything.
It's a bit like the tent later on, isn't it?
Yeah, the tent's bigger, but all I was distracted by in this sequence is the huge sign for Toby Ale. So inevitably we had to look up Toby Ale, and Toby Ale was one of the range of ales brewed by Charrington Brewery, which was founded in Bethnal Green in the early 18th century, and they had various Toby ales according to this list. They had Royal Toby Ale. Don't know why that's better. Toby Ale, Toby Export Lager Beer, Toby Lager, and Toby Stout.
Okay.
That sounds like a character name, doesn't
Toby
it?
Stout.
From some sort of Shakespeare or something,
Yeah.
you know. My lord, it is Toby Stout. He is come upon the scene. But yes, we should also say about, because this is a location film bit nicked from Blue Peter. There's a fair bit of location filming in this episode, and various people got bits of money associated with the filming. So we've got the Richard Bignell's book, and Richard Bignell, I noticed, did the infotext, the production subtitles for this episode. So according to this list here, £2 and 2 shillings and nought-pence. It says £2, 2S and OD, so I suppose that's nought-pence, was given to Mr. Klein of the Duke of York Public House, Charlotte Place, West 1, for filming of the War Machine's attack on Man in Telephone Box in episode 4.
Right.
And also for Doctor Who Trapping the Machine in Cornwall Gardens, SW10, £2, 2 shillings and nought-pence was paid to Mrs. Lessing. So there you go. There you go. See, it's all in the notes. See. But anyway, so yes, Toby Ale. Right. This bird saved my life. See.
Yes.
Says Ben. In a not particularly in a sentence you'd necessarily get away with today.
No.
But
No.
when did you stop being able to call birds birds?
I don't know, a while ago. I know. A few years back in sort of late 90s, early 2000s, when I worked in an office, we used to the girls used to call each other bird,
But the blokes couldn't.
but the blokes couldn't, which
You
is
see,
deeply unfair.
That's sexist.
Yeah.
If you can say birds and I can't,
Yeah.
then you've discriminated against me, and I feel oppressed.
Tough.
Yeah, all right. Then you get a few shots of people fleeing and things like that. I do like the shot of the bicycle wheel, the abandoned bicycle with the wheel going round. Now, come on. If you're trying to make a swift getaway
go
from a war
faster on the
machine,
bicycle.
stay on your bicycle. Unless it's somebody that was just learning how to ride the bicycle and they should have had stabilisers on and they went, whoa! And then fell off and then just ran off and left the bike.
I don't know. Maybe they panicked.
Or they were doing like sort of wheelies on their grifter or something like that.
Yes.
I'm trying to imagine Hartnell doing it on his BMX or something. You know, if Pertwee had a Hoomermobile, Hartnell could have a Hoomer bike or
Hoomer
something.
bike. You'd have to have a tandem and get somebody else to be at the front.
Would he be in the front or the
He'd
back?
be at the back.
No, you'd have Ben and Polly.
Oh, you'd have a tandem.
You'd have had a tandem, and Hartnell would be on the back
Falling
like,
off.
like Bill Oddie.
Falling off.
Just not pedalling.
Yeah, but Bill just falls off a lot, doesn't he?
Whoa! The head of drama from Nigerian Broadcasting came to visit, which is ironic because this story was found in Nigeria. Yeah. Anyway, Doctor Who makes the trap whilst Polly is at the post office tower.
Yeah, she goes to the post office tower to submit herself to Votan's justice.
And I love the announcement by Michael Craze on the radio. Please close your windows and doors. Like, that'll help. What did they think? The War Machine was going to sneak in through the skylight or something? You know, it's got a little hoist and it lifts itself up into the little window.
It'd give itself its weight anyway because of the noise it makes. There's so much noise.
Yeah, but the idea that they'd get in through the window.
They always say that. Close your windows and doors and stay inside. Like, that's going to help, if anything.
But yeah, we're at Cornwall Gardens, where apparently the riding of cycles is prohibited.
Yes.
So maybe this person was riding on their bike away from the War Machine, saw the sign, and threw the bicycle away because they didn't want to break the rules of the sign.
Yes. Who knows?
But Hartnell makes a boxing ring, basically, out of cables, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I just imagine, like, grappler Hartnell having a bout with the War Machine, you know. Have it you, sir! Queensberry rules only, not below the belt. What?
Okay.
Okay. But this is, of course, where The Mind of Evil
Will be filmed.
Will also be filmed.
At 5 years' time.
Yeah. There's some very nice weird camera angles on this.
Low
like
ones,
low ones,
high ones.
Yeah, all over.
The low one's quite nice.
All over the place. Yeah. Hartnell was apparently at Bertorelli's Italian restaurant and had to be collected.
Yes. Collected, taken in a taxi to be.
Do you reckon he was slightly merry?
I shouldn't think so. He was a pro. He wouldn't have had too much to drink.
2 pints. Okay. But the War Machine is trapped, and Doctor Who nobbles it. But yeah, all this film work that's going on here, what with this and the smugglers as well, they've really gone mad on filming at this point in the show. Because, you know, even with Troughton, you don't get this much filming again.
Not in 2 consecutive stories.
You get a bit in the Highlanders and the Faceless Ones, but 2 stories in a row. They're really pushing the boat out. But yeah, I like the way that Hartnell says, to coin a phrase, I neutralised it. Yeah. That's not a phrase.
No.
Unless Hartnell's trying to get a catchphrase going.
Possibly.
Like Geronimo or Allons-y.
Oh, he's just mapped
or
out
I would
the
like
line.
a hat like that. But I neutralised it certainly isn't a phrase.
Yeah.
The tapes for this were raised in 1974, so they survived a while. But yeah, the order to attack will come from Wotan.
Come from Votan.
Well, yeah, who else is it going to come from?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Mr. Pastry or Lulu or something? I don't know. Obviously it's going to be from Wotan.
But it's Votan saying that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it come from me? He talks about himself in the third person.
All right.
That's weird.
My mate Wotan.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's another one up the road. But the War Machine sort of gets a shift on and goes for the post office tower.
It never goes that fast before or after.
It's found 5th gear, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's like
boost.
Yeah.
What was that? Do that again. That War Machine going fast.
Yes.
Brilliant.
He could use all his power up going on boost though.
Okay.
Surprised he can do anything when he gets there.
But yeah, my first question is, did Doctor Who help it get into the lift and press the button? Or did it have to do it on its own? Like Mungo in Midge, in Mary Mungo Midge, when they go in the lift, you know. Like the War Machine lifts up its smashy arm, smashes the button, which falls out, and the War Machine goes in, drum dum 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 dum, smash!
Perhaps he uses his gun to do it.
Drum smash!
His gun's got a pointy bit there. Perhaps he presses it with his gun, tip of his gun, without firing his gun.
Ooh, okay. But his gun doesn't, does it? Oh, it flips up and down,
Yeah,
doesn't
so
it?
all he's got to do is twirl round enough to get the button.
Okay, but the War Machine attacks Wotan.
And also, obviously, the lift is big enough for the War Machine.
That
to
is
get
a big
in.
lift,
Yes,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. That would take about 20 people.
Yeah, and like, did it go in and then have to reverse out slowly, doing beep, 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 beep,
It doesn't
beep,
do beep, 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 because you can't hear it go beep, beep, beep. Maybe it backs into the lift.
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
I suppose it would have to if it was pressing the button,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Because if it's the wrong way round.
I imagine it goes in front and goes, oh bugger, I can't press the button. Has to come out, turn around, go back in again. No wonder it took a while.
Yes.
But yeah, it attacks Wotan.
But what you haven't mentioned as well is that
What?
Ben goes to the post office tower to rescue
and
Polly.
grabs Polly.
And basically he drags her out, kicking
Yeah.
and screaming.
Yeah, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. But I put bang, flash, smoke. Is the destruction is rampant, isn't it? And when it's all over, Doctor Who buggers off
Yes.
quickly.
Yes.
What's Martha doing?
I don't know.
Because he's got an appointment to loiter in Bedford Square for ages, hasn't he?
Yes,
Checking his
yes.
watch and
Mm.
wandering up and down.
And sighing.
and it's like he's touting for business, isn't it? Like,
Little
get
bit, yeah.
get it here.
A little
you know,
bit, yeah.
you know. Good time had by all. But yeah, Annika's been in Spain.
Mm.
And on the film sequences, the trees move.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying the trees move; they don't wander about.
No,
but
the branches
the
move.
branches move.
Yeah.
Not branches. But on the studio sequence, they don't.
Well, obviously not, because it's a
Because
photo.
it's a
back.
photo. But Dodo is staying,
Yes.
as if we hadn't guessed from
Yes.
last week.
Week before.
And Ben and Polly managed to get into the TARDIS
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
So all that
I've
20.
got a key.
Yeah, but Susan said
Oh, Susan's
you have to know.
annoying,
You
yeah.
have to know which hole to stick it in, and if you stick it in the wrong hole, it doesn't work.
Hartnell's just gone in. Perhaps he disabled that.
But
when he
then the
goes
monk
in.
nobbled the lock in
Yeah.
in Volcano, didn't it? So
Different production crew.
and it got stolen by the
Yeah.
Sensorite. So
It's all changed.
so yeah, it's all different. A bloke and a woman walk past
And do a sort of double take.
and go. Well, they don't really do that, but
That's
they
okay.
look in the.
They go.
I think they get more concerned with the fact that there's a camera filming them than
Yes,
the
then
police
TARDIS
boxes
just
dematerialised.
dematerialised.
And one of the really annoying things about the surviving film print,
Mm.
it doesn't have the trailer for the Smugglers on the end. Because I want to see the Smugglers.
Yes.
So yeah, there is a trailer.
There was a trailer.
There was a trailer, and I think an audio of it survived because I've got a vague memory of hearing it sometime. But yeah, that's the War Machines done and indeed dusted.
Yes.
What do you reckon then? I really like that.
I really enjoyed it. The last episode, it all seems to be. In one way, it feels like it's all over too quickly.
Yeah.
But in another, it also feels like it's sort of taking its time. Where the rest of the episodes have been quite fast moving.
Yeah.
This one's a bit slower moving, which is strange because it's the end of the story. This is where the pace is supposed to start to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I
really.
suppose it's the thing that they say there's 11 other machines.
But because you don't
But
see
because
them,
you don't see them, you don't feel the impact of
No.
that. So it's one of those things that maybe you should have had, more shots of other war machines.
But then that costs money.
because you've only got one,
Yeah.
you can't do it.
No.
So
No.
yeah, it swings and roundabouts. I think episode 4, but as a story as a whole, we have to say just how much new ground is being
Yeah.
broken here, and
It feels a bit odd actually when you're watching it, when Hartnell's fiddling with the war machine.
yeah,
It feels like it should be John Pertwee
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
Because it really feels like a sort of unit story. Feels like a story set when the Third Doctor is on Earth.
Yeah. I will just mention budget for this episode was 2575, total cost was 2090.
Right.
Okay. Smugglers episode 1 next week, budget is 3213, total cost is 4261. But again, awful lot of filming.
Yeah. It's not next week, it's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
Yeah, but in terms of recording.
Of recording, yeah.
Because Friday the 1st of July 66, The War Machines episode 4, Friday the 8th, The Smugglers episode 1. So they go straight into recording
Okay.
The Smugglers, and it's on Saturday the 16th, that Hartnell tells Heather that he's agreed to give up the Doctor. So he makes that decision between the Smugglers episodes 2 and episodes 3.
And is that around the time he wasn't able to go to his aunt's funeral?
No, that's the Mythmakers.
Oh, right, I thought it was in the Smugglers.
No, it's
okay.
that's definitely the Mythmakers. I'll show you that.
Maybe he's just really tired by this point. Really
But,
tired and just...
Yeah, because the Smugglers is the end of the production block, but gets shown at the start of the next episode. Yeah. He makes the decision halfway through recording the Smugglers, and then you get the 10th Planet tacked on as basically... It's almost like a guest appearance, the 10th Planet, really, because the season is effectively over with the Smugglers. Yeah. Then Hartnell comes back just basically to get rid of him. That really... It's almost like the offer made to Colin Baker. Yeah. Come back for 4 episodes and we'll get rid of you.
I never thought about it like that, because you've got the Smugglers before it. Yeah. But of course I'd not really realised that was filmed at the end of the last previous season.
So if you look at the way it falls, Hartnell's invited back for 4 weeks so they can get rid of him. Yeah. Which is how season 24 might have been, but because the production is a lot quicker at this point, because the Smugglers episode 4 is Friday the 29th of July 66. The 10th Planet episode 1 is Saturday the 17th of September. So there's really only a month or so between them. Whereas
so he doesn't get a lot of time to adjust to the fact that he's giving up the part.
No. It's just interesting. If you actually look at the production dates, it's different to how it appears on screen.
And I do wonder how much he actually wanted to give up, and how much pressure was put on him by Sidney Newman and people above to say, look, you're not really up to this anymore.
Because we said about him having a holiday booked for early 67, and it all seems to happen quite quickly.
It does. Yeah. And I know they thought about getting rid of Hartnell during the Celestial Toymaker, having when the Doctor disappears and when he comes back it's played by a different person. Yeah. Which would have sort of killed off the show, because how do you change it again when that person wants to? But
it's a difficult time for sort of Hartnell, but. This is where one of those points where the show, really sort of gets its longevity.
It's making a momentous
in the same
change.
way, that the first Dalek story assures the show a future for a few years. This period of the show is very much where, we get, the next 20 years or so being allowed for.
Yeah. I mean, we can't underestimate what it's going to mean. But you also have to think about how William Hartnell would have felt. Yeah. Because, he is the person that we owe the success to Doctor Who to. Because if he hadn't made a good go at it, it wouldn't have survived its first year.
And it's the weird thing to think that the War Machines is the last complete surviving Hartnell story.
Yes.
Smugglers, I'd love to see,
nothing there,
but there's nothing. 10th Planet, we're still missing episode 4. So
quite sad, really.
Yeah, but because I think in America, some prints of the War Machines had the regeneration tacked on at the end.
Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah.
So you're suddenly at the North Pole and they're a Cybermen, or
no, you just get the regeneration scene. Yeah. Because confusing. America only got complete stories in the sort of 80s. The War Machine, you suddenly get the regeneration, and then what would have been the earliest surviving Troughton story at that point? Well, this is, I think, before even Tomb of the Cybermen came in, so it's probably the Dominators.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been.
There's such big gaps.
Yeah. That's weird to think that if you were watching in the 80s, the War Machines, regeneration, the Dominators.
You'd be really confused.
That is really weird to think about. Now we've got a bit more material, so that's not how you'd have to do it. But that's weird. Yeah, that's a weird thing.
But it's a good story for Hartnell. His Doctor does feel a little it doesn't feel quite right.
He's in episode 12. I think he's sort of he's slightly distant from the events,
Yes.
isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
although he does all the reprogramming, and he's like in the tent, and he's in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
It does feel as though he's a little distanced from the action, I think. But
It just doesn't feel quite right because it's
No.
not the kind of story you associate William Hartnell's Doctor
Yeah.
with.
But as we said last time, it would have been very interesting if he'd stayed on for longer, if they'd carried on in this vein of the Doctor on sort of present day Earth. And yes, we will get more of this with Troughton and obviously with Pertwee. But this is where these foundations of that style of story are laid.
Yeah.
So
It's not even really the invasion. Everybody says about how the invasion lays down the blueprint for John Pertwee's Doctor, but it's been laid down.
so
at
much
this
of
point.
Hartnell's time, if you look at it, does certain types of story that the show will keep returning to. So yeah, I mean even 10th Planet does it, doesn't it? You know, the base under siege stuff. So however much you might think all this is Troughton and Pertwee, don't underestimate how much Hartnell's time does it just as one story, not as a continuing style.
And don't underestimate William Hartnell's Doctor. He's not the old fuddy-duddy one who can't remember his lines.
No.
You know, his Doctor is, well, obviously he's the original, but he lays down so much of what will go on and be brought back,
built upon
by other
These
actors.
are the foundations of Doctor Who.
And even to a certain extent now with Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
You know, watching her series, watching The Ghost Monument. Well, I mean, we said this at the time, but as you said, it's really like a sort of updated version of the Keys of Marinus.
Keys of Marinus, yeah.
All you need is for her to stand there and clutch her braces.
Maybe she can start doing
Maybe
that.
she can start doing that.
Okay. But there you are. We'll be back with the Troughton story.
Yes.
And we think we know what we're going to do.
We think we know, but we might change our minds.
Well, we'll have a consider. Because as we said, we'll do Doctor Who stories and a related other series
to one of the guest stars.
To one of the guest stars.
Yes.
So we've got some ideas. But we'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.